June 6th here in southern Ontario, Canada. I was watching an interesting video last night. A guy ran through all the climate, what we now call climate crisis, hoaxes, going back to 1958. And the one that stuck in my mind was the Great Ice Age in the 70s. When I was young, and into the 80s, they told us if mankind didn't stop his evil ways, by 1985, we'd be in this great ice age. And then it was 1990, and then it was by 95, and then it was by 2000, we're going to be in an ice age. Well, evidently that didn't happen. Somewhere, I don't know exactly when, around the 90s, they did a 180. We're not going to have an ice age. We're going to have a climate crisis meltdown. Times Square, New York City, the big clock there, it used to tell the time. Now it shows a 12-year, like if we don't stop burning fossil fuels yesterday, in 12 years, which ironically comes to 2035, doesn't it? Anyways, we're all just going to swelter and perish. And I saw recently on another show, they're saying about the heat wave in France last year. Scientists, showing as evidence of the climate crisis. And as proof, they asked an 84-year-old woman on the street, "Have you ever seen it so hot, Edna?" "Not in all my days have I ever seen it this hot." Well, science evidence shows, in 2000, and don't quote me on the years, 17 and 14 and 2004, it was hotter. And you could go back every decade Edna's been alive. It was as hot or hotter in France during, I'll assume August, whenever they get their hot spell, as every place does. Well, no mail today, just watching Pretty Mary Mail Lady go by. But anyways, the guy made a good point in the original video I was watching. He said if you watch the climate activists, alarmists, protesting, waving their flags and painting museums orange and all the stuff they do, that I don't know how they think it's going to help painting a museum orange. But anyways, they're all young people. And the point is that that's all they've heard. They've been raised on climate crisis. They've been told the Arctic ice pack is melting and ocean levels are rising. Although ocean levels aren't rising and the ice pack in the Arctic is still 7 feet thick, same as it always has been. But you say a word often enough and it sticks in the human psyche. And sure enough, in a personal experience, I've mentioned, as my tenancy here has been violated and stuff. Talking to the young lawyer girls, I try at the end of, after they advise me and we have our discussions and stuff, I badger them about following politics. And the climate crisis came up, and the one girl was like, "You don't believe in that?" It was like, oh no, the old guy's going down in her estimation here now, right? And I was like, well, and here's the thing. I don't say, no, I don't. You've been sold a bill of goods and you bought it because they keep telling it to you and you believe it. I say, well, and I sent her to the Climate Nexus channel. So check them out, because there's a lot of scientists and climatologists and whatever's related to all these different fields looking for evidence of climate crisis, climate change, and there doesn't seem to be anybody really finding it. When asked, they say, well, we can't deny that it's happening, but we can't find any evidence that it is happening. The only place we hear it is happening is from the people who want us to believe there's a climate crisis. And the news keeps parroting it, and the climate crisis clock at the in New York there hypnotizes the people every day when they walk by and see the numbers spinning away. 12 years and counting. Here in Canada, our Minister of Environment is now Minister of Environment and Climate Crisis. So the young people who are buying it, because they haven't seen, they've sold us the same bill of goods all along. They just rebrand it every decade or two, right? So that's the morning ramble.